Welcome back to MPWF Annihilation. Here we are with a promo by Cash Money Inc. Well, I don't quite think that Tyrone Fitzgerald is the greatest MPWF champion yet. I mean, he's barely held the championship for a month. And again, I don't know if it's a smart thing to still insult the Black Giant even if he isn't here. Now look at who has the microphone here. Shaun Sugar Shane Stevens. Seems that he's a bandwagon jumper. I just hope because of Shaun Stevens' arrogance that White Boy Fresh does defeat him at SummerSlam. These guys really need to think about this main event match they've got later on tonight, the 6-man tag team matchup. You know, Deborah Dangerous has something in a microphone, and clearly that's all she would say. All hail the Dynasty. And these guys are completely arrogant. Maybe the worst thing in the MPWF, but I stand corrected. Things may have just went from bad to worse, because here now are the Gaijin Killers, led to the ring by Yamasaki Yoshino. And Yamasaki Yoshino, I mean, this man is unbelievable. Yoshino, I mean, he walks to the ring with all the bravado in the suit. I mean, he tells everyone that he is going to educate the MPWF fan base. That's what he is here to do. And he walks out to the ring, backed with Sasuke and Tien. I mean, Yoshino has been talking about education and teaching the MPWF fan base what true professional wrestling has been for the last 2 years since he's been here on YouTube. And now, I mean, Yoshino really may get what he wants with the Gaijin Killers. I mean, these two ninja-looking people, all samurais, you can take that the way you see it, have it the way you want it. They're going to dominate the MPWF, I can assure you that. And I don't think that's necessary to insult a city and its champions. Well, good lord, I don't think anybody wants Yamasaki Yoshino to be their educator. And thank God for this, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, we're about to have a one-on-one contest here, as KJ Stevens is going to go one-on-one with Tien in the ring, seeing as Sasuke took on MXZ on Superstars and was victorious. And a very, very impressive victory. But here comes one half of the MPWF World Tag Team Champion, and KJ Stevens. I mean, the Collaboration Zeros have been jumped by these guys since breaking point. I mean, they really haven't been able to get the upper hand in this rivalry. And I mean, on Superstars, MXZ had a chance in that match, but the Gaijin Killers are impressive. They defeated the Natural Disasters last week on MPWF Annihilation. I mean, they continue to look to dominate here. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they take the World Tag Team Championship, and I guess really do educate the MPWF fan base. But I mean, who is it for them to tell everybody else what real professional wrestling is? I mean, yeah, you have different styles from different countries that Yoshino needs to understand that the Japanese style of wrestling is going to be different to the North American style of pro wrestling, but Yamasaki Yoshino thinks that he's right and nobody else is right. And he could never be wrong. We're here, Tien now. And KJ Stevens trying to get escape here, but going around now, going for a headlock to KJ Stevens. And oh, what a spin heel kick there, connecting with Tien. And again, as we mentioned, you got Tien who's in the inside of the ring. On the outside, there's Yamasaki Yoshino walking around in his suit, and his tag team partner is Sasuke. As KJ Stevens now heads to the top rope, and they combine make the Gaijin Killers, and they As I mentioned many times so far already, they are here to educate the MPWF fan base. Also, don't forget that later on tonight we have the Eclipse versus Reese Bobby, as well as Roscoe Jenkins versus Tendanciz, and as well a 6-man tag main event matchup. So I mean, we still have a hell of a lot of action left on MPWF Annihilation. Now, oh, what a net breaker there by TN. And again, don't forget that this Sunday, October 2nd, MPWF SummerSlam live from Madison Square Garden, New York City. I mean, it's going to be huge. I cannot wait for SummerSlam. I am as pumped as ever. On the Saturday night, October 1st, we'll have the MPWF SummerSlam pre-show. I mean, oh, go for the pin cover. Does KJ Stevens here. One. And oh, there's Yamasaki Yoshida already get himself involved in this contest. I mean, how is that educating fans on pro wrestling when you're getting involved? You should be on the outside of the ring, being impartial, and do your job as a manager. But, of course, Yoshino isn't going to do that. Again, some of the matches we'll see at the MPWF SummerSlam pre-show, as we found out earlier tonight. Dr. Ice Jr. will meet the Eclipse one-on-one for the MPWF YouTube Championship. As well as we'll see a Cruiserweight Championship match, of what we found out this past week on War, as Jim Jocko will take on Hector Rodriguez, and also Zack Ryder will take on the Clown Devil Satos as well at the pre-show. So, I mean, that's going to be a big event as well, and we'll also see exclusive interviews, superstars arriving and leaving the arena, and we'll hear exactly what people have to say from the MPWF fans and whatnot about SummerSlam, which will be taking place again October 2nd. It's getting repetitive, but we got to tell you, you need to be there, you need to watch it. SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer, the best SummerSlam event in CPV and MPWF history. It's going to be huge. A nice fisherman suplex there, and KJ Stevens gets the rope. KJ's doing pretty good right now. KJ, I mean, using his speed to subdue TN. I mean, TN is pretty fast himself. And here KJ Stevens going to go high risk here. KJ going to the outside of the ring with a knee drop, taking down TN. And now KJ getting pissed off. And now he's undoing the Egyptian announce table. And oh. And that's the one thing that KJ Stevens cannot do, is let his emotions get the best of him. Especially against an opponent like TN from the Gaijin Killers. And he throws him right into the steel steps. But KJ Stevens looks to be in control right now in this matchup. I mean, oh, going around with a waist lock now. KJ Stevens now throwing TN into the turnbuckle here. I mean, oh, what an elbow there. Another elbow. Shots there by TN. I mean, all of this is to determine who will be the best tag team in the MPWF Annihilation brand. That's the underlying factor. Oh my goodness, look at that rebound German suplex out the turnbuckle. I mean, you can talk about education, you can talk about beating people, but the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, oh, that was a dirty voice crack by DJ Johnny Feelgood. At the end of the day, it's going to be about the World Tag Team Championships. And, Jesus, I sound like I just hit puberty or something. My goodness gracious. But here we go. As now bouncing off the ropes, and nice hip toss takeover there by TN. TN now back in control again. KJ Stevens needs to try and find a way to perhaps hit that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker or that shooting star press we've seen him utilize in the past. Now what is this he's going for here? Going for that fisherman suplex, and it connects. What a big fisherman suplex there by TN on KJ Stevens. And now TN has him up, and oh wow, what a spine buster there by TN. A vicious spine buster, and that may have just finished this one right here. This one may be done. Here it comes. 1, 2. No, MXZ now breaking up the count for his team. MXZ doing exactly what Yamasaki Yoshino did. I guess 2 can play that game. KJ Stevens is hurt. TN now with a bulldog knocking down MXZ. And TN didn't like that. And now he knows how it feels. KJ now going off the top rope but missing. TN now going off the top. TN, oh, connects with a missile drop kick to the outside of the ring. Action's heating up here in this matchup. And TN and now again attacking MXZ. Yamasaki Yoshino is just yelling out orders on the other side of the ring. And now what's he going for here? Oh no, KJ Stevens, no sorry, MXZ with a reversal of the net breaker, and the referee calling a disqualification because MXZ hit TN. I mean, you can't blame him. TN was assaulting him in this matchup for no reason. And they had to suffer at some point, but ladies and gentlemen, again, later tonight, Tendanciz versus Roscoe Jenkins in one-on-one competition. I cannot wait for that match. There's Hood Violence himself, Lemar James Jackson, and oh my god, that was really rude. That was unnecessary. I mean, Jesus, Lemar James Jackson has no respect for anyone. Christ's sake. And I mean, Jerk is right. I mean, how disrespectful was that by Lemar James Jackson? I mean, I hope that Antonio Goldman is able to stop hood violence at SummerSlam. And again, that's my bias is coming into play, but hood violence has dominated way too many people in the MPWF, and has sidelined some great stars in Joe Eagle. I mean, we miss Joe Eagle. We hope that he can return to the MPWF soon. But right now, Reese Bobby has a huge opportunity against the MPWF YouTube champion, The Eclipse. And Reese Bobby also will be a part of that 6-man Battle Royal match to start off MPWF SummerSlam. Again, the winner of that matchup will compete later on in the night to face Tyrone Fitzgerald for the MPWF Championship, thanks to the Black Giant's actions in that he was suspended on Superstars this past week. I mean, Reese Bobby, the submission and technical wrestling specialist, he will do everything in his power to make sure that you submit and you tap out. His favorite submission move is the sharpshooter. Will Reese Bobby hit in this matchup? Oh no, I'm ready to find out. Let's see what happens. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the unknown enigma, the MPWF YouTube champion, The Eclipse. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your MPWF YouTube champion, The Eclipse, making his way to the ring, and boy was he ever happy that he defeated Tyler Fell to finally win that championship, to stop Tyler Fell and his antics. But I mean, last week Tyler Fell came out and attacked Dr. Ice Jr. and The Eclipse subdued him. And I mean, now tonight he's got a matchup against Reese Bobby, and this is going to be proved to be difficult for him, because Reese Bobby is a hell of an athlete and a hell of a competitor. So can The Eclipse survive against Reese Bobby and then go on to the pre-show? Then he'll have to defend his title against Dr. Ice Jr. And if he can survive that, he'll be in the Battle Royal match at SummerSlam. And then if he can survive that further, he will be in the MPWF title match against Tyrone Fitzgerald. Ladies and gentlemen, are you willing to pay the price to be the best? That's what The Eclipse has to ask himself right now. Does he want to be the MPWF champion? Does he want to be the best? We'll see how much charisma, how prepared The Eclipse is right now, because I mean, he's going to have a hell of a week, him and Dr. Ice Jr. 3 matches in 1 weekend. Now, oh, nice belly-to-belly suplex there by Reese Bobby. And I mean, again, in an amateur wrestling tournament, you have about 4 or 5 matches a day, but I mean, it's not the same. It's not at the same level as what these competitors are putting themselves through here in call wrestling. And Reese Bobby now, I mean, he can attest for that. What a reversal there by The Eclipse. Reese Bobby is definitely in Tennessee, a great state championship wrestler. And oh, look at this by The Eclipse. Not much is known about The Eclipse, when we saw those promos hyping The Eclipse. But again, we don't really know much about The Eclipse. I mean, the fans have just gravitated towards him. They've just really cheered him without knowing much about The Eclipse. They just know that he's a badass and he beats people in the ring. I mean, The Eclipse is undefeated in the MPWF. No one has pinned or made him submit yet in his career. That is a huge feat. And now Reese Bobby, though, fights back with an eye rake. And look at that. Look at that shot there by Reese Bobby. Now, what a huge overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Reese Bobby now throwing The Eclipse inside the ring. Now, what's Reese Bobby looking to do here? Reese Bobby now, and look at this, just grinding the top of Eclipse's face on the ropes. And ladies and gentlemen, those ropes aren't soft. Those are wired ropes. That hurts to land in those, and that definitely sure as hell hurts when your face gets put in it. And Reese Bobby now taking a break. And I mean, Reese Bobby has faced The Eclipse before, and he did not defeat The Eclipse, again, because The Eclipse is undefeated. So I mean, maybe Reese Bobby has a different game plan this time. Oh, a kick to the face there by The Eclipse. So The Eclipse has one game plan, that's to survive. Again, Reese Bobby, he'll also be competing in that 6-man Battle Royal match, so he has to preserve his energy as well. But I mean, a big victory for Reese Bobby here. I mean, not only could he end the undefeated streak, but he could have pinned the YouTube champion. And he has him in a sleeper hold, but there's a reversal by The Eclipse. Like I said, everything is heating up here in the MPWF. I mean, the MPWF has never been better. And oh, Reese Bobby goes face first into the ropes. And these men are beating the hell out of each other. But ladies and gentlemen, what I'm being told with my headset right now is that we're heading for a break. And when we return, this match will continue. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned and have no more voice cracks.